Good morning, dear colleagues. Mr. Zaichka, thank you very much for your introduction. My name is Ilia Yudin. In the beginning of my presentation, I'd like to use this opportunity to thank the company Rockers for the conference and for the chance to speak about my company and new satellite, and think jointly about how the remote sensing data can help also in our mapping and monitoring and many other applications related to observation of the environment. DigitalGlobe is an operator of satellites which acquire high spatial resolution images. All of you know what kind of satellites used to and are currently part of the Constellation. They're Icona, Squig Bird, which unfortunately are no longer accessible for new image acquisition, but all the data acquired by these satellites are available in the archives. Then GeoEye 1, WorldView 2, WorldView 3. I'm not going to speak about the spatial resolution of those satellites because now it's a good reason to speak about WorldView 4, which was launched last Friday. Its spatial resolution must be 30 centimeters. 30 centimeters. That's what it looks like. This is a satellite which was successfully launched and orbited, which has been already confirmed. It reported back from the orbit. Now all the ground stations are calibrating it and are working on getting its first images already. So it's supposed to be a 30 centimeter resolution apparatus with 4 spectral bands. Its expected performance 650,000 square kilometers per day, and additionally to 30 centimeter constellation. And we hope that the images with 30 centimeter resolution will appear at least 2 times more frequently, and we'll be able to map larger areas with this high resolution. Here you can see some pictures just for your information. WorldView 3, it's still in factory, and a couple of pictures how it was transported to Vandenberg launch site. Here it is being transported. Now it is moved to the missile carrier. This is the team. They're delivering this payload to the tip of the missile, and it's moved to Atlas 5. Atlas 5, actually, the carrier rocket which uses Russian engines, manufactured in Khimki. It is well known that almost all missions in the United States and all the important missions use this carrier, because WorldView 4 and WorldView 3 also were launched by this RD-180. This is the rocket itself and the payload. You can find the video in the internet, the video of its launch. Now moving on to the constellation itself. It's quite a powerful constellation which has been in use quite actively too, and all the satellites are fully available and ready, now working non-stop, and the overall performance of this constellation about 1 billion square kilometers per year. About 60% of the land surface of the planet is covered in 1 month. It's quite a lot of data. I'm talking about real big data. We call it geospatial big data. The overall volume of data is about 80 petabytes. Now I'd like to speak about the spectral resolution. The DigitalGlobe satellites are known not only for big spatial resolution but also spectral resolution. Here, you know very well that WorldView 2 and WorldView 3 satellites have additional bands. WorldView 2 has 8 bands. Near infrared, WorldView 3 already has 16 bands. They added also 8 out of the infrared spectrum, and they allow us to get 7.5 meter resolution, and these data are unique because owing to them we can identify the types of surface like plastic, or to differentiate green plastic from green metal, for instance, or we can differentiate cement from concrete, and we can see different minerals which are part of the surface if they include, say, iron or carbonate, because these bands are sensitive. Or not bands, sorry, but the wavelengths are absorbed by the molecules of iron and other chemical elements and compounds, and through spectral signatures we can detect different mineral substances. If you're interested, I can of course tell you a lot about this. We have very good measurements. Soon we'll have a scientific article in publication about the monitoring of mineral. No, yeah, I was wrong. It's correct to say monitoring of different deposits. Also, on this table you can see the comparison with other satellites, well-known satellites. WorldView 3 bands out near infrared spectrum are correlated by Astrum, which were used also for geology, and are located on about the same lengths of waves just like Aster, with the exception of that on 1200 nanometer there is an additional band that Aster doesn't have. But Aster also used to have the last one. WorldView 3 doesn't have it. So it was decided to move this band from 2450 nanometers to 1200 nanometers, because the last one was considered to be too noisy and it wouldn't work too well. So these channels are available, and these images are also available. You can acquire in 16 bands. Unfortunately, it doesn't acquire all the time in 16 bands because it requires too much memory space, so it continuously acquires in 8 bands, and the other 8 are upon request. And this archive is continuously growing, especially in the areas where companies are interested in geology of the area. We didn't have this data first, but in just 2 years' time we now already have very good archive, and these data are also readily available. Another example, just to share with you what these bands allow us to see. We can see through the ashes from the volcano, from ashes from fires, and you can see the surface even through the smoke. You can see this volcano, and all because these bands have high lengths of waves, they can also see the heat signature, and you can see that we can map the sources of hot spots on the image. For instance, you can see on the previous slide, see, to the right, to the left, there is some smoke, but if we look at it in other bands, you can see there is some other eruption of lava, that just to sweeten the deal. So there is a possibility to do this, and when WorldView 4 was launched, its launch was postponed many times due to many reasons. One of the reasons was that that airbase was under fire. Also, WorldView 3 was acquiring images from that site by different bands, and it was perfectly clear which areas have been already damaged, which were not damaged by fire. But if we look in visual band, then everything was covered by smoke, nothing was visible, but owing to the additional bands we could really see what was going on there. And as a result, extinguish fire more efficiently. Now moving on to technical characteristics. WorldView 1 is a high performance apparatus. It can provide up to 1.5 million square kilometers per day. And the only drawback, it doesn't have spectral bands. It has only one panchromatic band. GeoEye is the satellite which used to have the highest spatial resolution, 41 centimeter, and it has 4 bands. WorldView 2, WorldView 3, one of them 8 bands, 46 centimeter spatial resolution. WorldView 3 has 31 centimeter. This is a default resolution, but we can resample, and its finished product is 30 centimeter spatial resolution. Despite the fact that this satellites acquire data with different spatial resolutions, we can supply any form of spatial resolution starting from 30 centimeter ending with 50 meters. So the source spatial resolution can be anything, but the actual supply or delivery product can be different, and we often use it by supplying data of 70 centimeter, 1.5, 2 meters, sometimes once even 50 meter resolution. I don't know why, but somebody asked for it. And WorldView 4, we expect it to have 31 centimeter spatial resolution. It will work in multispectral bands, and the multispectral band resolution will be 1.2. So far, that's all I can tell you about it. We're still waiting for first acquisitions, and as soon as we have them, we'll show them to you. We don't have first images out of it. Moving on to the Constellation. На 18 число до Минска сразу. And on a daily basis, DG supplies all over the world more than 250 terabytes. These are huge numbers. And the infrastructure allows us to have such delivery. And the daily acquisition adds about 75 terabytes. These are considerable numbers indeed, and as I mentioned previously, these are huge data, a lot of data, and we even had a study, and we thought that 93% of data acquired by all these satellites have never been viewed by a person, because it's simply impossible to do that. These data are in archive. Of course, they are ordered upon request, but huge amounts of data have not been viewed by anyone. That's why we have 2 new approaches to the data supply, and I would like to tell you about one of them. First thing is the online delivery through web services. This product is called Basemap, the product which contains the best images acquired by all those satellites that I mentioned, and which has special plan on the update of the content, and there are certain methods on how to deliver data. It can be either online or offline delivery, and the simplest thing is that the users can subscribe to it.
So they pay for taking subscription. This is a product well known around the world. in Russian Kazakhstan, it does not enjoy heavy demand, but if you count the returns, it includes a lot of, it's a tile server, and we can upload data, and users can see 30 to 40 centimeter or 60 centimeters or 1 to 2 meter resolution pictures. Почему на одно ухо? 30 centimeter is not all the data that it has. Most of the capitals, large cities, the largest array of data is 50 centimeters. But we do resampling, making them available at 40 centimeters, which is a distinguishing feature of the tile server. Of course, all the data in this server is available with supplemental data. This is not just a picture. It's downloadable. It does not have RPC coefficients, but still it has the time, the angle, the azimuth, the date, and other important critical parameters. So this is a completed geospatial product. A few words about the coverage. This is a general overview. There's a lot of data. It's accessible through this content. You select an area, having zoomed in, it opens up a panel with available images for the selected area. We try to constantly increase the availability of imagery. In my experience, the right range is 2011-2016. For some areas it's available for 2009, but users mostly ask for more modern data. There's a special update plan. Cities get updated on a more frequent basis. 1 million plus cities. This is how this service looks. Nothing new, different levels of zoom, global coverage, and the cloud delivery. It can be delivered through web interface when we provide access codes and a password, logins and passwords, and a user can go there through different web browsers, download them, open them up locally. It's just that these images have the highest level of processing, meaning you can't download by band. It's RGB, pan sharpened, and ortho transformed images. A lot of ArcGIS, Google, MPS can be used. There's no problem attaching data bands to the geospatial software. And also, some users don't want to depend on internet, and they can purchase delivery offline. We send them a hard drive for a selected area containing all the images. It could be the whole country or the whole world, so it comes offline. It's available offline, and all you need to do is install it on your PC, allowing only your staff members to use it. The image accuracy depends on a variety of parameters. Most of the images in this server have 8-meter accuracy, with a few exceptions. From Worldview 3, for larger cities where there is a lot of checkpoints, the accuracy is better than 5 meters. This is I mean, it's challenging to provide 5-meter resolution for the global coverage. You have to have good terrain. That's a problem common to everyone. This is how metadata looks. This is a separate dialog window. All data is available in additional files when downloaded. I think this is the most important and essential difference of this server from other portals, well-known portals. When people use those, they can only see one picture. Basemap is a professional server, and it allows you to get real geospatial products. We are responsible for its quality, accuracy, geopositioning, and the relevance and fullness, completeness of data. If the metadata shows that it was captured on a given date, that's when it was captured. There is no reason to disbelieve that. Moving on, this server is quite flexible. It can be tailored and set up to various customer needs. We can deliver a variety of resolutions affecting the price. We can also provide a single user license or a group license. Often customers just need to view data. They're not interested in downloading. So it's all about viewing, no need to download. They use their own substratum. So you can use the viewing option, again, reducing the price, making the product even more flexible. Also, there are different profiles allowing you to tune up images to certain parameters. Some people are after accuracy, then your request will indicate accuracy. Other people are interested in a cloud-free, homogeneous image, then it will be a different profile. But we usually open it and select what is available, what you need to work with the general amount of data. There's also offline delivery. This is where we pass you the hard drive that you can install on your computer. This product has several developmental tracks, different options. One is Basemap. This is basically your archive. The next option is plus refresh, where we guarantee the update of a area of interest in a certain period of time. To tell the truth, it's not very prevalent, but this option is out there. Some customers connect to Basemap, but then they say, let's say, in 2 months we will need this area fully updated. We don't have to have a single old pixel. We can do it. This is what we refer to as plus refresh. The next option, plus daily. This is the premium service where you get images without delays, meaning as soon as the image was uploaded to a receiving station, within 24 hours, in fact it's much faster, 3 to 4 hours or 5 hours depending on the terrain, that image becomes available in Basemap. This is actually an online service, but users don't control imaging process. They can only see what was available when flying over a given area. But the coverage is very good. It's probably the fastest way to get data in global scale. Plus Vivid is the ortho transformed cloud-free 50 centimeter mosaic. I mentioned it earlier, I think during last conference. Now we are finishing it up. We have early images of Russian territory this year from that. Practically all of southern Russia, most of the European part is already available, most of the middle part of Russia. Toward the end of 2017, I expect global coverage to occur, meaning that Russia will be completed in the first quarter of 2017 as far as coverage goes. This is an extra product. It's a set of images with atmospheric compensation, stitching, a ready product, degree by degree, cloud-free, and stitchless. Plus Meter is a service affording Worldview 3 images for million-plus cities around the world, more than 1,600 cities with 30 centimeter resolution, and the update rate is once a year. The last option is extended coverage, fairly interesting option where users connect a Basemap, but they see a shortage of images. So we check the archive ourselves, and if we locate other images, we upload them to Basemap. Or users can do it. They can go into the archive, the database, look for an area of interest, select images, and view which one should be added to access. This is extended coverage. Well, I'm being told I have 1 minute to go, then I will probably skip the applications. I had a couple of case studies. A lot of images from Mumbai. This is from a different service, but still. That allows you to produce, to make some control. Get high-res data. And as a final note, just for the beauty of it, I wanted to share with you some images captured by the DigitalGlobe satellites at 60-degree slant. I don't know if they can be of use, but for aesthetic purposes, this is Abu Dhabi. Oh, the next one doesn't load. Some reason. It's heavy. This is Rio, the Olympic Rio. There was a lot of clouds when we were acquiring those. We wanted to make an image of the Jesus Christ statue. They said it's impossible, it's always under the cloud, and this is how far we got. The very first attempt, the very first try, resulted in it was a success. This is the moon. We captured the moon, other planets of the solar system. So again, that's our capabilities. Thank you. That's all I have. Thank you, Ilia, for a very good presentation. I would like to use my moderator's powers to ask you a question, a quick one. First, when are you planning to launch Worldview 4? Mid next year. So you need 6 to 7 months for calibration. You know, this satellite has such long duration. Worldview 3 took much faster to launch. It was launched in August 2014. Early commercial pictures became available in January. Worldview 4 has some distinguishing peculiarities. It has to do with ground stations primarily, but we expect the launch to occur in the middle of next year. The second quick question, you showed the global coverage. Is it cloud free, or is there a certain cloud cover ratio? In global coverage in Basemap, there are cloud cover restrictions. This service includes 25% cloud cover images. In Russia, especially the pre-pole areas, we can't get images for years. That's true. We have a lot of data in the polar regions, as we can program the satellite frequently. There's a lot of stereo data in particular. So coverage is quite good, but I'm sure there are areas that you cannot cover, no matter how hard you try. And the last question, the main consumers around the world are governments, right? Do you have a support for government? Does DigitalGlobe provide products for free or for profit? It's a commercial company, profit-seeking company, so all the data comes at a cost. But in general, around the world, it's a commercial product. Actually, as far as commercial remote sensing goes, I can't say that government or the public sector is most important. It is important, but we need to figure out if it dominates. I mean, it remains to be seen if it dominates. There are other companies that show a lot of interest, so I would say it's 50% split. But if we take the other DigitalGlobe business, it's focused on governmental programs. That's sure. I have two questions whilst I have the microphone. You showed accuracy, data, metadata. What about height, accuracy in height? That's a good question. For Worldview 3, you know, when we provide data, we provide raw data. When we provide a completed product, it will have certain accuracy to it, but individual images in post-processing don't have vertical accuracy because this is not a completed product. So our products only have horizontal accuracy. It doesn't matter if it's World War II. There is the stereo pair, and we guarantee the horizontal accuracy. And DSM or DTM is a totally different story. If we build that, we have advanced and elevation series, this is where we can guarantee vertical accuracy as well. I can't remember it because it depends on the spacing, but that's the approach we have. And vivid service, what accuracy does it provide? 8.4 meters. I have a question to ask. Alexander Chukurin from Rakus. What is the approximate share of orders coming from online users as opposed to traditional order placement? 30%. So there is a growing trend to order online. Yeah. If you take the subscription 1 year, you begin to realize that you can't live without it. So you want to extend it or to optimize it by reducing cost. It depends. What about geographic spread, distribution? These are mostly Western countries. Europe, the States, Africa. In Russia, maybe only Kazakhstan. Nobody in Russia. Kazakhstan used this service. Yeah. Thanks. You keep improving remote sensing resolution. So the data is also. Could you introduce yourself? Vitaly Shaloyk from Petigorsk, land survey company. Are you working on new data storage formats and any plans to change the paradigm of the data transfer and storage? Thank you for your question. DigitalGlobe had several formats of data, GeoTIFF and TCF, if I'm not mistaken. But finally, that's all we're offering. It's just GeoTIFF. No other formats are in the offing. I didn't hear anybody who's working on the new formats. And in terms of paradigm change, indeed there is a new paradigm where we are trying to open access to this large data by renting data. So you can download data, but you can force a machine to calculate, use an algorithm, and to download the data after that. So this is a paradigm shift, allowing you to tap into this enormous archive. If you're interested, we can meet in the lobby and I'll give you more detail. Hello, Pavel Anashkin from Yekaterinburg. Ilia, do I understand you correctly? Basemap allows an end user to bypass existing dealers and to order data directly. No, that's wrong. You have to go through dealers. It's the same product, but you order it online, but again via dealers. We always operate through dealers. Thank you very much.